Hello viewers, this video is made in dedication to His Majesty the Druk Jigme Singye Wangchuck, the 4th King of Bhutan. Born to His Majesty Jigme Wangchuck and Queen Mother Wangchuck, His Majesty the 4th King Jigme Singye Wangchuck is the only brother to 4 sisters: Her Royal Highness Sonam Wangchuck, Her Royal Highness Wangchuck, Her Royal Highness Wangchuck, and Her Royal Highness Wangchuck. His birth on November 11, 1955 in Techinchoding Palace, the Palace of Great Bliss, corresponding to which she were not only ensured and heir to the throne but augured well for a bright and secure future Bhutan. His education, both Buddhist and modern curricula, began at the age of 7. Later, he studied in State Joseph College in Darjeeling, India, and in London, United Kingdom, where he experienced the life of an ordinary student. The lessons he learned abroad were brought into the harmony with everything he had learned about Buddhist tradition and culture during his childhood. The Crown Prince returned home in 1970 and attended the Okinawa Academy in Paro. This was his most formative period in learning the craft of leadership, as it was at this time that the Crown Prince acquired much knowledge from his father. The Crown Prince soon became a highly effective leader by realizing his own potential, as he was forced by circumstances to overcome great challenges. In 1971, at the age of 16, the Crown Prince was appointed as the first chairperson of the Planning Commission. He was also trained in the art of governance by his father from a very young age. Further, he participated in the meetings of Lengishingso, the State Council. The Prince toured extensively with his father to the most remote pockets of Bhutan. This helped him know the land firsthand and develop close personal bond with the people. Thus, these visits were useful to frame development plans and policies later when he ascended the throne. In May 1972, he was invested with the symbolic rank of Trongsa Panlo, the governor of Trongsa. When His Majesty Jigme Wangchuck passed away in Nairobi, Kenya on July 21, 1972, Bhutan was at the threshold of a new era. Even though politically it was in a delicate position, sandwiched between two of the world's most populous nations, His Majesty inherited a country with a very little of the infrastructure that we today associate with the modern nation state. Being a subsistence economy, life was difficult for most Bhutanese. There were few hospitals and schools, although road construction was underway. Many parts of Bhutan could only be reached via mule tracks and footpaths. Communication facilities were lacking, and telephones were almost non-existent. When he was formally crowned on June 2, 1974, he was the youngest monarch in the world at 18 years of age, and the coronation was notable for the presence of foreign dignitaries, thus signaling the end of the long isolation of the country. The 4th King continued his father's policies of slow modernization and socio-economic development for the country while still trying to preserve Bhutanese culture. In 1988, he instituted the policy of Namja, etiquette and manners, which required all citizens to wear national clothing while in public and established the requirements of teaching Dzongkha, the national language, in schools. In 1988, he voluntarily reduced the scope of his absolute powers and began to formally rule with the advice of his government. He is the man behind Bhutan's constitution as well as the country's first democratic elections in 2008. His reign was marked by phenomenal development: roads and bridges, schools and hospitals, basic services in agriculture and livestock now reach deep into the remote corners of the country. Bhutan also improved its communications, hydroelectric power development, financial sector, environmental protection, and industrial and infrastructural development during the king's reign. Believed to be the real Shangri-La of legend, Bhutan is the preserve of Himalayan culture and ecological paradise. Bhutan, or Druk, the land of the Thunder Dragon, is one of the world's smallest countries with an area that is about the size of Switzerland. The king, along with his cabinet, have committed to keep 60% of the country forested, and hunting is strictly prohibited. Culture preservation of language, drawings and architecture are required by law, and satellite dishes are banned. Tourism is controlled by a strict quota to keep out the cultural litter that has infiltrated other Himalayan areas. Bringing a kingdom into the modern world from years of self-imposed isolation is not an easy task. Bringing Bhutan into the modern world while preserving its unique culture and pristine environment is a daunting task even for a monarch. Tucked away between some of the world's most overcrowded, impoverished, and ecologically decimated countries in Asia, Bhutan is increasingly being encroached on by the outside. Bhutan is battling for its very existence. It has been noted that the Four King ruled his people with orthodox views based on the traditions of Buddhism. Even to this day, traffic lights do not exist in the country, and by law, everyone must wear traditional 14th century clothing. Since the beginning of his rule, television and internet access have become available. Joining the United Nations early in his reign was a major step in the modernization process started by his father. To keep Bhutan from being overrun by China or swallowed up by India as the country of Sikkim or filled up with illegal immigrants has not been an easy endeavor. Modernization has been unnecessary, painful, and slow by design. His Majesty is a figurehead that has kept the balance between economics, spiritual, cultural, and traditional values. In late 2003, he ordered Bhutan's first military campaign in well over a century in order to oust Assamese separatists who were using Bhutanese territory to launch raids against targets in India. He also coined the term Gross National Happiness (GNH) as an alternative development indicator to Gross National Product (GNP). This concept helped guide the economic and development plans of Bhutan. On 17 December 2005, at the age of 50, he announced his intention to abdicate in 2008, leaving the throne to his son. During his last year in reign, he sent every household in the land a new draft constitution that allowed for his impeachment. In the royal edict issued on 14 December 2006, the king announced that he would begin handing over power to his eldest son, Jigme Singye Wangchuck, immediately. He had ordered a parliamentary election to be held in 2008. Jigme Singye Wangchuck is married to 4 queens, all of whom are sisters, and has 5 sons and 5 daughters. Several of his children have been educated abroad. The names of the queens are Her Majesty Ajit Wangchuck, Her Majesty Ajit Sringpem Wangchuck, Her Majesty Ajit Sringyangdin Wangchuck, and Her Majesty Ajit Sangye Wangchuck, all of whom are daughters to Yabugin and Yumtuji. He was quoted by Tashi Dele, Druggyas Inside magazine as saying, I quote, "It is the system, not the throne, which is important. A monarchy is not the best form of government because a king is chosen by birth and not by marriage. The people of Bhutan must be able to establish a system which works for them." Unquote. This is why he worked so hard at serving his people. He was, is, and will be the symbol of Bhutan, which inspires and leads the people to the right path. Thank you, Tashi Delay, and God bless you.